Hello, everybody. This is Alyssa from Ink Arts and Crafts, and today we are here for a WIP and chat. So WIP stands for Work in Progress Chat. Well, we're going to sit here. We're going to chat a little bit about my week, what I've been up to, all of that fun stuff. So today's canvas, this image is A Year of the Tiger. And the artist is Jenna Wing Hu, and this comes to us from Jaded Gem Shop. I love my Jaded Gem Shop canvases. It is a 50 by 50 round drills because I pretty much order most of my Jaded Gem Shops in rounds. And I did have this one charted with 3 ABs. I do prefer to do my own charting of special drills for the hybrid rendered kits that Jaded Gem Shop has. I do prefer that my own charting, because like this one, I don't mind ABs. I love ABs. Like literally the 3 colors that we're going to work on today in this background right here, those 3 colors are the ones that are ABs. I would have thought that it would have been like some reds or some of the pinks up in here, but no, it's the background. The entire background is AB. So I have to, once I finish the background, I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to lay it out, and I'm going to plan the bling for like the reds and the masks, some of the pinks, some of the golds, that type of thing. But I decided to start with the background. So this is the image in case you were wondering. So that is Year of the Tiger by Jenna Wing Hu. And it's so cute. I love it. I'm making good progress. I'm almost done with the background. I have just this section right here to do, and then the entire background will be done. And of course, this little section of the border. So we're going to work on that. My tools today, I am using this adorable cover minder from Shire Shenanigans. I've got some Autumn Harvest Wee Wax, which is one of my favorite scents. And I think I've got, Frozen Raspberry Lemonade, Randa's Crafty Corner Putty. And then my trays, I am using my Yellow Dog Designs trays like usual. And then the pens, I have 2 Butterfly Effect Wears pens that I'm using. So this Pastel Beauty right here. And then I have this one, which is a really cool design. I've only seen a few pens with this particular shape, but it is ridiculously comfortable. I love this, like this long grip right here. Oh, this is like so comfortable. I think I have 3 pens in this shape, and I'm so happy that I have them because it's amazing. And then I have this one right here, which is from Lace and Lathe Works, which this is kind of one of those things where I kind of have to hold it like this because there's not enough grip for me down here, so I end up holding it up in here. But this one has my 12 placer on it for like the big areas of color blocking, which I'm not doing a lot of in this canvas. I'm using my 10 placer and my 8 placer primarily on this one. I use the 8 for those small areas, and then the 10 for when I have a little bit more color blocking to do. So we're going to move this up. I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm filming this in the morning, so I will probably have a lot of like edits to cut out as I like sneeze and have to blow my nose and everything because it's morning, and that's how I always am first thing in the morning. So I'm feeling lazy and tired and all of that. So we're going to start with the color blocking here rather than doing the border. I could just start with the border, but I'm feeling it for right up there. So let me grab my drills. We're going to start with these ones and then go from there. So I hope everybody has been having a wonderful week. It has been a very busy week for me this week. Very, very busy. So I had, let me set my timer. I forgot to do that. So yes, it has been a very busy week for me. I had, let's see, Monday was the holiday. I think, did I have my video up for you guys on Saturday? I think I did. Because Saturday, my family got in on Saturday. So my brother flew in from where he lives on the West Coast. So he flew in on Saturday. My mom came in like a little bit before him on Saturday. And then my dad came in Saturday evening. So they all came in. Yeah. I was trying to think, is that the right day that they came in? Sushi just closed the hallway door. She's so silly. So anyways, so Saturday, I have a painting class that I do Saturdays that runs from like 12:30 to 3:30. So I was in my painting class, and thankfully class got done a little bit early. My brother was like messaging us, and he was like, yeah, the flight, we're taking off. They said we have a really big, like a really good tailwind, so we might get there like 45 minutes early, which his flight was supposed to get in at 4. And I was like, oh, well, because that would be perfect, because if it got in because that would let me leave here at 3:30 to go pick him up. But he's like, oh, I did check a bag. So, and I'm like, okay, well, I can add to that. I don't have to worry about being there like super on time or anything like that, because it takes time at my airport for them to, just like any other airport, to unload the bags. So it's like, okay, no big deal. But that means that he was potentially slated to arrive at like 3:15, which would have been leave here at like 3 o'clock at the absolute latest to pick him up, and my class goes until 3:30. Well, class finished a little bit early. Ended up finishing right around 3:15 from class. But I had also been online, and I had been checking his flight status throughout the flight to see, and it showed him arriving a little bit early, but not much. It was like 5-10 minutes early, not like the 45 minutes, because I was like, his layover was in Dallas, and you can taxi for like half an hour at that airport. So even if you're like departed early, you can literally taxi for ages at that airport. So, which is what he ended up doing. So, my mom and dad drove separately because my dad still had some jobs that he had to work on in the morning before he left. So my mom got in at like right around that 3-ish or so as I was finishing up class. So that was perfect. She was able to, take a bathroom break, get the dogs in because she had her dogs with her, get them all set up. And then my brother and I, the two of us left to go pick up my brother from the airport because we were like, okay, he's getting here early. So we went and we got to the airport at like 3. Well, his original arrival time was at like basically 4 o'clock, but it was saying that he should get in at like 3:50. So we left at like 3:20 or so, got to the airport and waited for almost an hour before he landed, and then had to get off the plane once he landed. And then he had to wait for his bags. So by the time we got him picked up and headed back here, we'd been there for a hot minute. But we just sat in the cell phone parking and just chilled for a while. But we finally got him picked up after, chilling in the cell phone lot. He was like, all right, grabbing my bag. So we were like, okay, perfect. We will drive over and get you. So picked up my brother, headed back to the house. It was really good seeing him because this is my first time seeing my brother since Christmas last year. So it's been a little over a year since I got to see him. But we picked him up, came back to the house. We were hungry, so we had food. And then we had to wait. And then my dad finally got in, I think at like 9 o'clock that evening, something like that, which doesn't surprise me that he got in that late. So Saturday was just kind of just relax, chill, because it was, the recovery day. My brother had to leave for the airport at like 2:45 in the morning in order to get his first leg of his flight. So because he had to leave so early, he's like, him and I are like the same mindset. If you have to leave for the airport at like 2:45, that means you have to get up, make sure you have everything just in case, which means if you were to go to bed, and then have to wake up, you'd be waking up at like 2 o'clock at the absolute latest. So at that point, is it really worth going to bed and like potentially sleeping through your alarm clock? Or do you just stay up all night? Because, normally bedtime, if we went to bed around midnight, because that's a common normal bedtime for us. So that's what he did. He just stayed up. So I told him, like, if you need to talk while you're driving, call me because I'll be awake because it'll be like morning here. Because there's that 3-hour time difference. So he called me. It was like 2:45-ish his time. So like 5:45 or so, he called me and chatted while he drove the rest of the way to the airport, which, that was, like I said, I was already awake, so it wasn't a big deal. So we chatted while he was driving to the airport, and like that, I'm sleepy because I've been the tail end of my drive getting sleepy, and then he got in and parked and all that stuff, and went from there to flew in, and got here, and yeah, that was Saturday. Sunday, we had a couple things on the agenda for Sunday, which was basically, I had to pick up, like I said, that other file cabinet storage. I had to pick that up on Sunday, which was like a 1 o'clock thing, and Sunday was like so dreary and rainy. My brother brought the rain with him. He brought the rain over because it hadn't been rainy, and then, he flies in, and it was like literally Sunday was pure drear. One of those super drizzly days where you just want to stay inside all day. But he did that. He came in, and, having him meant that my dad and my brother could carry the file cabinet and set it up here for me. So we got the file cabinet. The people that were selling it, it was because they were like, it was the woman's dad's house. And he'd passed away like 18 months before. So now they were going through and like getting rid of things. So I got that for like in a table that it sits on for like a steel, and it's actually handmade, which is really cool. It's really pretty too. So I got that one. And then on top of that, they also had like he had collected stamps. So he was an architect, did like drafting stuff. And then he also collected stamps. So the envelopes that the stamps come in are a certain size. So he had built these other cabinets and containers for that. So my mom ended up getting like 3 of these things that had like these cubbies. these little smaller drawers that she got, that she can put like her artwork and painting stuff in. Oh, my Roomba just turned on, so I think I'll have to go like close my office door so that way we're not disturbed by Roomba noises, because otherwise it's going to be loud and it's going to want to come in here. So let me go close the office. I had to call the cats in too, because if I closed them out of the office, they would just be very unhappy with me and would have had a little bit of a conniption. So I had to get the girls to come in too before I could close the office door, so the Roomba can Roomba out in the hallway. Anywho, so yeah, so picked up that, which I'm like, yay, so now I am set for like life on the diamond painting storage, so I'm not worried about that. And then also my washing machine died. Like, I was trying to do laundry the night before my parents and my brother came in, so Friday night I was washing laundry, and it just wouldn't spin. So, and it basically has been something where I've had the feeling that my washer was dying for a while because I've been having some issues with it. And my dad was like, yeah, it's the motor, you need a new motor. Because it would only wash if it was on like basically the super loaded settings and all this stuff, and it just wasn't spinning. So he was like, yeah, you need new motor. And it's like, at that point it was an old washer, it was like really old washing machine. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and go get a new one. So we went to this place that does where they sell used washers. It's kind of like a bargain outlet, because I'm like, I don't want to have to spend, you know, like $1,000, like almost $1,000 on a new washing machine. Like, no, I don't, not for one that, for a house that's, you know, I don't plan on living here long term or anything like that. So I was like, I don't feel like spending that much on a washing machine. But at the bargain outlet, they basically had them for like 50% of the cost, and they're all like refurbished ones. So it's like they're guaranteed to, like, they've gone through and they've been repaired or refurbished and everything, so they all work and all of that. So I was like, okay, easy day, we'll go there. So we went there, got the washing machine. You know, it was like roughly about $300 for the washer, but it was a really nice Maytag one that doesn't have that stupid agitator thing in the middle. I hate those. So it's but it was a really nice washer. Get home, get it plugged in. And then, well, actually we end up realizing, okay, the hoses that we had that thought were good are actually kind of rusty in their threads. So then I had to run to Home Depot and pick up hose. Okay, get that, run it back. So then my dad and my brother finished hooking up the washer for me. And we hadn't even turned the washer on, and once we turned the house water back on, water started pouring into the washing machine. Not like long. It was just like a little bit of a trickle. And we're like, okay, that shouldn't be happening. So I'm like, okay, well, let's go ahead and turn on the washing machine. And you just fell. She just fell off of the table over there. And so we're like, okay, well, let's turn on the washing machine, run it through a cycle, because I had a thing of my clothes that I had to, that I tried to wash the night before that basically got wet but did not actually get washed. So we're like, okay, fine, let's do this. So ran the load, and once it finished cycling through, the drip into the washer was even worse than what it was beforehand. So it had worsened for the stream of water flowing in. So it finished its cycle, and then we had to like, in order to get the water out, because it was pouring in, it had already finished its cycle. We had to disconnect the washer from the water supply in order to get the water to stop pouring in. So the washer was still plugged in. It was just disconnected from water. So that way we could then have it do a spin cycle to like, or in a drain and spin to get all the water out of the stuff that it had just washed. So I was like, okay, great. Well, at this point, you know, it's, you know, later Sunday afternoon, and we're like, yeah, this was a thing to tackle on Monday. So then we went ahead and we had to, because it's like, in order to turn off the faucet, or to turn off the water to where the washing machine goes, my shutoffs for the washing machine water were not working. So I had to turn off the entire water to the entire house so we could disconnect the hoses and do all of that. So we did that. But then it's like, well, what are we going to do? Because we can't turn on the water to the house. And we're like, okay, well, so we ended up like jury-rigging a way to be able to do it and the water wouldn't cycle through. But then the faucets were doing like this slow leak. So it was just like, okay, well, we're going to have to replace the faucets when we do the Uh, well, we'll see how it looks, because it was doing that yesterday. It was doing that the day before when we were replacing the first washing machine. But once we had it all hooked up, it stopped leaking. So we were like, okay, it could just be the pressure buildup. So yeah, get the new washer, trade it out. Basically they just traded me, for a different one. Get that one plugged in and set up, and it's still leaking. And that, like, it's not leaking into the washer. It's like the faucets themselves in the wall didn't stop leaking. So we're like, okay, well, I guess we have to go buy new faucets. So then my dad and I go back to Home Depot, pick up the faucets for it, but it took him probably 45 minutes to get the old faucets off, because they were a different style. So normally when you have to replace those water shut-off valves, you can basically just unscrew the very top screw-on valve and put a new one in, and then you don't have to remove that whole stainless steel, whatever thing that tends to, it's water, so it can get rusted to the other one. And then you don't have to worry about, fighting with pipes that are in the wall if you just take the valve stem off and replace that. No, we had to take the entire thing off, which was like, my dad had to jury rig it, because of course he didn't bring his tools, and I have a lot of tools, but I didn't have exactly what he needed to be able to do it. So we're like, okay, fine. So get the new faucets, get that put on, get it installed, it's like, the leak was done because we replaced the faucets that were leaking, and now I have water shutoff valves for my washer and dryer that actually function and work, which is great. It was just a lot more work than we were expecting to do, when we were expecting to be able to just unhook the water lines, remove the old washer, plug in the water lines. I'm not going to hold you while I'm diamond painting for the video, Mo. She's like, yes, you are. So now I have a Mochi in my lap, or in my arms. So, yeah, I can't move because Mochi decided she is being held. She's so silly. She's like, it's morning, I'm chilly, and I'm sorry for the snuffiness. I'm always super snuffy in the mornings like this, especially when I first wake up. I tried to, and I did take my allergy meds and everything. This is part of why I try to do my filming later in the day or in the evenings, because then I'm not as snuffy or sneezy later in the day or in the evenings, but it's kind of like I either do it now so you guys get the video up today, just a little bit late, or I film after my class, which means you guys wouldn't get the video until, by the time I edited it and uploaded it, you guys wouldn't get it until Sunday. I figured I would film in the morning so you guys could get the video up for today still. So anyways, yeah, it was an ordeal. It was a lot more of an ordeal than we were expecting, but we got it done. So I now have a functioning washing machine that works. So happy day there. And I feel like my clothes are now cleaner than they've been in like months, for the clothes that I've washed in it, like totally so much cleaner than they've been in months. So yeah, that's a good thing, but that's done. And then, so that was Monday. Sunday and Monday is when we did all of that. Sunday we started, Monday we finished. Thankfully I had Monday off of work, so I was able to go do that running around. Originally the plan was going to be that my parents ended up heading over with my brother to their house Monday afternoon, and they were going to spend the rest of the day, or the rest of his time with him over there. But then with all of the washing machine stuff, it was like, well, it wasn't as planned, and my dad was like, I can't just leave you with like a leaking water stuff. So ended up staying at my house the entire time that they were here, instead of doing the drive over to the other side of the state, which is only like 2 hours and 15 minutes or so. But that's what they were going to do, but they ended up not doing that and just staying here, which means they didn't leave. So I had Monday off, but then I had to work Tuesday, because Monday was MLK Day. I did have to work Tuesday, obviously, because it's back to being normal work day. So, and Tuesday was like a busy day for me at work because of all of the stuff that I would normally get done on Monday, I had to do on Tuesday. Then the meetings that I normally had on Monday, I had on Tuesday, and then I had patients and blah, 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 blah. So it was a big day. It was a busy day at work. I didn't leave work until after 4 o'clock on Tuesday. And I think, I don't even know what my parents and my brother ended up doing on Tuesday. I think they went, like, my dad's looking for a new work trailer. So they were looking at trailers here, because theirs is a lot bigger of a city than where my parents live. Didn't find one that he liked. He found ones that he liked, but he'd have to order it. And he's like, if I have to order it, I might as well just do it back home, because then he won't have to drive over here to pick it up. Because his goal was find something that he could pick up today. I know I'm not satisfying you. As you lay on my lap, she's like, you're not holding me right, Mom. And I'm like, well, sorry, I'm diamond painting. I can't hold you right while I'm diamond painting, Mo. So anyways, so they did that on Tuesday and other stuff, and I don't know what all they did. And then Wednesday, my brother's flight was slated to leave around 4 or so. It was like 4 something, 4:50 maybe. But it was like where he wanted to be at the airport around 3-ish is what the timeline we decided on. So I was like, you know what, like, let me look at it. So I was looking at everything for Wednesday, and I was like, actually, I think I can swing leaving a little bit early. So I left at like 1:20, drove home. We jumped in the car together. We stopped and got food. And then once we had food, then we went from there to the airport. So that was kind of like, we had a late lunch so we could all eat together. And then we went together to drop my brother off at the airport. And then we got back home, and it was a little after 4 at that point. But yeah, so that was good. We got him dropped off, and then we came back to my house, and my parents, they had already spent the morning kind of like packing everything up. They just had to finish loading stuff up into their trucks. My mom was going to go straight back to their place, and my dad had to like stop and go to some parts stores, things like that, which is usually what he does when he's over here, because he usually, they live kind of like remote enough that if he needs to go to a Camping World or something like that to get parts for work, he has to drive like an hour plus to get there. So if he's already here where all that stuff is, he just stopped and did some of those trips. So that way he could get things that he needed. Like, they even have to drive an hour and 15 minutes to get to a Home Depot. That's how like boonies they live. It's so funny. So anyways, woo, look at that. We're done with that color. So now the rest of this section right here is all one color. All right, so now we just got to fill in here, and then we will work on the rest of our border. But we're making good time on this. Ooh. Yeah, so that was kind of like what my what my weekend ended up being. So that was Wednesday, and then on Thursday morning, BTS tickets. So if you enjoy K-pop, that's one of the bands that I listen to. But BTS tickets for pre-sale for ARMY members, that's like their fan club. Those pre-sale tickets started, depending on the location, started going on sale on Thursday. And one of the concerts was being held in Tampa, which is like 3-ish hours from me. So I was like, easy day. I'm definitely going to that concert. So but the tickets for that one went on sale at like 9 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, no, not 9 o'clock. That's like the worst possible time, because it's like right in the middle of the workday. I have patients. It's not even one of those things where I can be like between patients or anything. So, because I have a patient from 8:45 to 9:30 for my schedule. So it was like, ugh. So I was like, okay, well, I'm still going to try it. I ended up getting, like that one, by the time I was able to get on and everything to do that, like, and get into the queue in between patients and then wait for the queue to kind of like cycle through, they had already basically sold out of tickets for the pre-sale tickets for the concerts those 2 days in Tampa. And I was like, well, looks like, no, I am not holding you like that. No, you can sit right there and be close to me. I don't have to hold you every minute of every day, Momo. She's like, yes, you do, Mo. Momo's like, she's sitting there with a paw on my arm, like, hold me, Mom. And I'm like, Mochi, no, I need to be able to diamond paint. I can't hold you. And she's like, but hold me, Mom. She's so funny. So funny. All right, we're going to switch pens. So anyways, I missed out on the Tampa tickets because they sold out so quickly for the pre-sale stuff. And I was like, well, I guess I'll have to try for general on Saturday, today, to get Tampa tickets. But I also had signed up for tickets for Vegas because, you know, I can stay with a friend of mine and see her and spend the time with her, which I was supposed to do last year in August, but that did not happen because of those flight snafus that I had at trying to fly to Vegas for that concert, which was, that was a whole ordeal. So anyways, I went ahead and had signed up for the Vegas pre-sale, and I did end up getting tickets for Vegas, so I'm super happy about that. They're not like spectacular seats, but I did end up getting Vegas tickets. So they're decent seats. I was like number like 30,000 or something, or like 20,000 in the queue for Vegas, but I did get seats, so I'm happy with that. And then on top of that, I was looking and it showed that they had put in they had opened another night in Tampa. So the tickets that I missed in Tampa were like Saturday, Sunday concert tickets, which is ideal. And then they showed that they had done another show on Tuesday night in Tampa. So I was like, okay, that one I will do, because again, it's close enough. Yeah, I might have to take the day off from work to go, but I'm like, I'm doing it. So I ended up but again, the pre-sale for that one ended up being at like 9 o'clock in the morning, which is like, I'm like, seriously. But I was able to timeline wise get into, it was so funny because it was like, I still again have that 8:45 patient in the morning, but so I was like, well, if the queue is going to be long, like you could usually jump on, however, like join the waiting room X amount of time before. And the waiting room had been opening like 15 minutes or 10 minutes before for these concerts with Ticketmaster before you then get bumped into the queue. So I was like, I'm just going to pull my patient back 5 minutes late so I can join the waiting room to try to be earlier in the queue to try to get these tickets. So I did that, and I was able to get, I think I was like 6,000 in line for it once it actually started at like 09. And the patient that I was seeing, it was actually a really quick eval. It didn't take that long. So I finished with that, and I had like 15 minutes between that patient and my next patient because I finished with this patient early because she was a quick patient. It didn't take that long to see her, and ended up so I was like, okay, which actually means I got to like sit there and stare at my phone as it cycled down to my number, and I got in and I was able to get some good seats in Tampa. I didn't get like VIP sound check type tickets or anything like that, but I did get like really good seats for Tampa for that Tuesday show. So I'm like, okay, I'm happy. That makes me happy because that's what I wanted. So now there's only like well, it depends on what bands come through. So I'm going to the Vegas and the Tampa show for BTS, and they're spaced out a little bit. I want to say one is in April and one is in May, like Memorial Day weekend. I want to say that's what it is. So, spaced out a little bit. So that's good. I'm still waiting for I have like a couple more bands that I would definitely like to see. So I definitely want to see if Stray Kids tours again this year down into Orlando, then I'm definitely going to go to that concert just like I did last year. And then if Big Bang does a tour this year, since I missed the GD concert, which is the lead singer for the leader for Big Bang, but this is their 20th anniversary because they were created as a band and like first started doing everything back in 2006. So this is their 20th year anniversary. So if they do a concert like tour this year, I am going to that concert and I am not going to miss out on it at all because I am not missing it. I am getting to one of those concerts, wherever it may be. So once they announce like a tour schedule for a couple of those other bands, then I will be good. But yes, really, it's like the ones that I would want to see in concert would be Big Bang, and then also ATEEZ if they do another concert this year, and then again Stray Kids if they did a tour again this year. So yes, that was basically, it was like so much drama to get my tickets. Oh my goodness, I was so nervous. And it's like, it's such a pain in the butt trying to like book through those platforms. Thankfully, it was Ticketmaster, which is, a little bit more straightforward. When I was trying to get the tickets to the G-Dragon concert that I went to, that was a whole mess trying to get those tickets with the platform for that company because it wasn't through Ticketmaster, and I hate it when they do like third-party ticket selling apps. Those just annoy me. because they're not nearly as good as Ticketmaster for the process. Ticketmaster's a little bit more straightforward. And if you've done a pre-sale like that for tickets from Ticketmaster, then you kind of know the deal and you know exactly how everything operates. So yeah, that was a little bit smoother to get these ones, but I was still stressed about it. So stressed about it. But anyways, got those. And then I was going to, and then so that was like my drama for Friday morning. And then, you know, I had a medical appointment Friday afternoon with my primary care, just like I have to do like regular checkup kind of a thing. Did that, and then after that appointment, I was like, okay, it's almost it was basically like almost the end of the workday. I still stayed until almost 4 o'clock. I ended up thinking I ended up leaving at like 3:45 on Friday. But yeah, that was basically my week as far as work stuff. Diamond painting wise, I am plugging away. Like I basically have duck bath done. I say that, but there's like the one color that I'm enhancing that I ran out of special drills for. So I ordered more like 2 weeks ago. I'm just waiting on those specials to get in. And once those specials get in, then I will be able to fully finish duck bath. But essentially it's done as much as I can do it until I get those drills in. But it looks so good. I'm so excited for it. So duck bath is done. And then on top of that, I'm working on this one here, making good progress on her. This one's a small one, so it goes quickly. So this one will definitely be finished this month. And then I don't know if I'm going to finish any others this month or not, but I'm like really pleased with how much I'm getting done this month. Granted, a couple of them were like WIPs already. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at with that. We have, yes. And then, oh my goodness, last night, you guys, the reason why this did not get filmed up for its normal like 8:30 showtime is because I was going to film it last night. I totally had every intention to film it last night, but I had been diamond painting and I had gotten to where I was ready to do this side. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go lay down on the bed and watch like an episode of a show because I was feeling kind of sleepy. So I'm like, I'll go lay down and just watch an episode of a show, just kind of chill. And then I'll like be in that like ready to film. So I do that. I was like, I'm not even going to lay under the covers because then I'll probably fall asleep. I'll just lay on top of the blankets. So I just laid down on top of the blankets, was watching like the show. I think I got all of like 15 minutes into the episode. That's literally it. 15 minutes into the episode. And this was at like 8 o'clock, mind you. So like I normally go to bed around midnight. This was at like 8 o'clock. Next thing I know, I look at like, I'm like, okay, I must have fallen asleep. So I go to move and I'm like laying on my back in like a starfish pose. I've got a cat in each armpit. So my arms are up over my head. So now my shoulders are sore because I slept with my arms up over my head. And I couldn't put my arms down because there was a cat in each armpit and they were laying in such a way that I couldn't just like relax my arms down. So I was like, well, yeah, so there was that. And I looked at my watch and it was saying that it was, you know, like 1:30 in the morning. And I'm like, okay, well, that wasn't planned. It was like, well, I should get up and go actually get ready for bed, take my meds, you know, brush my teeth, whole 9 yards, and then go back to bed since it's already like 1 o'clock. So I was going to do that. And then the next thing I know, I'm waking up and I'm like, okay, now I'll get ready for bed. And I was like, but then I was like, is this a malfunction? Because I looked at my watch and I'm like, is this a malfunction? Because my watch is saying that it's 6:30 in the morning. And it was like, it seems darker than normal for 6:30. Like, how is it 6:30? It was like literally just 1:30. It most should be like 2. No. I fell back asleep in the exact same position on my back. And I don't normally sleep on my back. On my back, cat in each armpit. And I woke up at 6:30 in that same exact position, still laying on top of my blankets, mind you. And I was just like, oh, good grief. Oh, good grief. So at that point in time, I was able to take my nighttime meds that I normally take and everything. And I was wide awake at that point. So I just kind of like laid there for a little bit, snuggled and petted the cats, that type of thing. But I was just like, oh my word, I cannot believe I did that. Like, ugh. But at least I was able to sleep all the way and I wasn't like wide awake at 2 o'clock in the morning like it normally would be when I fall asleep early like that. So that was good. But apparently I was more tired than I thought. So yeah, that was my Friday night, was falling asleep and sleeping in an awkward, weird position. So now my neck is all like weird because I slept weird and I'm not used to laying on my back like that. You're funny, Sushi. She's in the window being all silly. So yeah, and then of course, you know, woke up this morning, just kind of chilled, taking it easy. And now I'm filming, as obviously because you guys are watching this video. And then I don't usually eat a lot of breakfast, so I'll probably grab something because I have painting class at 12, so I always like to make sure I have a little something to eat before painting class, otherwise I'm starving. I do need to get groceries because I basically had leftovers in the fridge from when my parents were here, and the leftovers are now gone. So now I need to actually have food and go grocery shopping because that's, you know, I need something. Hi, baby. What? You don't need to climb the blinds. You can see without climbing the blinds. The whole bottom half of the blinds is open for you, girlfriend. That was the sushi carcass. That was totally my sushi carcass. So, anywho, yes. So, I'm curious, what does everybody plan on purchasing for today from Diamond Art Club? I personally am not buying anything. There was nothing that screamed at me. Like, that massive dragon canvas is super cool. But one, and I had this initial thought of like, oh my gosh, I need it. But then I'm like, no, I don't. It's a really massive square, absolutely massive square, and it's 111 like colors. So I'm like, do I really need something that's that big and has that many colors? Nope, I do not think so. As cool as it was, I think if it had been like an Asian, if they had been Asian dragons, I totally would have bought that canvas today. But they were not Asian dragons; they were more of the Western dragon. But the colors on that kit, so pretty. It's very much that rainbow color for it, but that's a really cool canvas, and I have I know a couple friends that are purchasing it today for it because it's like literally everything that they love. So I'm excited to see them work on it because that's going to be a cool experience. It's kind of neat seeing a Diamond Art Club branch out and do these massive different canvases. I just, you know, am not a massive square canvas. It's like, give me my rounds and I'll do a massive round canvas, but not so much the squares. But yeah, no, that's just me. Like this right here, it has confetti, but it doesn't seem overwhelming to me because it's rounds. So the confetti in rounds really doesn't bother me nearly as much as the confetti in the square canvases. So yeah, this is going well. I'm pleased with it. And also I have placed nothing but ABs this entire WIP and chat so far. And if you're not familiar with ABs have like for Aurora Borealis, they have this like coating on them, which can make it hard for people to pick them up, depending on how you place and pick up and everything. I've worked with enough ABs that I find them easy to work with. As you can see, I haven't been having a lot of issues multi-placing these. Like it's been just fine for me, but I know a lot of people like loathe ABs because they can be challenging to work with. Again, like I said, for me, I find them easy because that's all I've been doing so far this video is multi-placing ABs. But anywho, other than that, I don't even think there's anything I'm going to wish list this weekend. I was just thinking about it and I'm like, I don't even think there's ones that are going to go onto the wish list. The one that I like the most that's releasing this weekend is the Kusing Kessel. Those turtles is really pretty, but I'm like, I have a lot of turtle kits and I need to work on those turtle kits before I can even think about purchasing another turtle kit. So I'm not even going to put it on my wish list. Hey, Carcass. Sorry, I got distracted by the cat causing chaos. So now I placed weird, and now I need to correct my placement. She's such a turd. She was like, oh, I'm going to go play with this artwork on the wall. And I'm like, no, brat child. No. Hey, baby cat. What are you doing? But yeah, if I could stop having to, like, stop and blow my nose, it would be perfect. But, I think I've had 5 times now that I've had to stop and blow my nose because allergies and first thing in the morning, all of that fun stuff. But anyways, we're cruising along, making good progress. I really don't mind doing the ABs, and normally I'm a little faster with like this background section, but again, I'm doing a WIP and chat, so I tend to go a little slower when I'm talking, so that way I try not to mess up and everything. but I definitely am not in my groove when I'm doing a whip and chat for my fast placement, because I definitely place a lot faster than this. But anyways, it's looking really cool. I do like the look of the background with the ABs for it. Normally when I add drills, I don't tend to add a lot of specials to the backgrounds. When I do my enhancements, I tend to add my specials more so to like the features of things. So I am going to add some additional specials into like the pinks and the reds on this canvas. And I might want to do some gold accents for her fingernails, like the little metal things that she has on her fingernails. So I just have to, see what I want to do. Sushi, do not touch that. No. Little rascal. Sush, put your little carcass down. Hey, stop that. Ugh, I don't have my squirt bottle in here. I had to move it to the other room because decided she wanted to jump onto the kitchen counter last night, which she never jumps on the kitchen counter. That's a Mochi thing. But she decided last night that she wanted to jump onto the kitchen counter, and me just picking her up by her scruff and putting her on the floor wasn't enough. So I had to go get the water bottle and squirt her. And once I squirted her, after she jumped on the counter, she was like, okay, I'm done, and did not even try to get on the counter again. Now, if I could only get her to like act like that when it comes to artwork on the walls, not touching it by squirting her, then we'd be in business, because that's her thing. She likes to, her little slappy paws like to touch things on the walls. Or climb paintings on the walls. She doesn't climb the actual artwork itself. She climbs the frame. But still, I don't want her to actually touch any of my actual artwork as she does that. Because she's broken the glass on a couple things already. Because, turd. Oh, yes, Mochi had a birthday this week. So the 21st was Mochi's birthday. She's officially 6. Sushi, put the paw down. Sush. Thank you. She just looked at me like, what, Mom, what? And I'm like, exactly. Turd. Sushi. There's a window. She's like, I want to get inside the blinds so I can see better. And I'm like, you can go in the other window where the blinds are lifted up. These ones I don't lift up because they're awkward to get to because it's behind my desk and my easel. So I don't lift these ones up. I just open them so you can see through them. And somebody has decided that no. Come on, you're done. Baby cat. What? Little turd. Oh, you silly cat. Hi, baby. She's probably wanting her breakfast, but she can't. Don't yell at me just because I'm holding you and you're not happy with it. Hi. Hi. This is their carcass. Look at that face. That's a face of up to no good. Oh, thank you for the kisses, baby. Love you. Her ball here. Oh, I forgot to turn on the heating pad. Woo! Yeah, Sushi is now like touching the treat bag. Like, I want these, give them to me, scrabbling at the treat bag. She's such a chaos. Such a little chaotic thing. All right. So, I don't even remember where I was, but I'm actually really pleased. Like, I'm doing really good about holding myself accountable to not purchasing things. And it's surprisingly enough that the more I don't purchase, the easier it gets to not purchase, which not really surprising. I feel like that's a known thing, but it's actually been pretty easy to not purchase the things that aren't on my list. Like, I didn't get that beautiful Mrs. Butter D last weekend. I wish listed her because she was not one of the things that I had said I was allowed to buy. So I wish listed her. And I was pleased with that. So I'm really excited to see at the end of the month my numbers and my stats. I know they're definitely better than what they were. I was making good progress. I kind of did like a rough look at them. But once we remove, the kits that I have as whips that I've finished as well, I've been doing really good. My pile of stuff that I've purchased this month is pretty small. It's like sometimes that stack by the end of the month is massive. And it's really not that big right now. It's only got a few items in it, which I've only, so far this month, what's arrived this month, I've purchased one Diamond Art Club canvas. That's it. I'm like, oh my goodness, I am so proud of myself because that's what I tend to buy the most of. I've purchased one Diamond Art Club canvas. That's it. I'm like, oh wow. And that was, I want to say that was the Margaret Morales. That beautiful Margaret one of them that I've been waiting for. So yes, I'm really pleased with that. So now I just need them to not release any more like Yumeis or anything else that I really want, so I can continue to not buy. Because those are ones that I will purchase. You guys know that. But anyways, I'm overall pleased with how that's been progressing. Yes. So yeah, we're making progress. We're getting there, practicing the whole self-control thing and not buying all the things. That's Sushi, in case you wondered. She's playing with something on my desk. Aren't you, girl? She's like, I am. And I'm like, it's keeping her distracted. She's not making a mess of anything. I'm just going to let her play with it. Because, you know, that's half the battle, is entertaining this cat. And it's like, I can have all the toys in the world, and then she'll still be like, I'm bored, entertain me. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I've given you all the things. All the things, Carcass. And yet she'll still cause chaos. Yeah, I'm moving really slow today as I'm filming this. I'm in the first thing in the morning. I'm tired still. Haven't fully woken up yet. I need to go get some tea. That's what I need to do. I haven't had tea yet, and that'll help with like clear up the sinuses as well. But when I'm done filming, I'll go grab tea. But anyways, yes, I can't wait to do like my what I've purchased this month video, the haul video, to see like how little I've purchased compared to what I normally have. Carcass, get down. Do not touch that. That is no. I tell her no. She's leaning up on the wall because there's a piece of artwork hanging on the wall there. She touches it. I tell her to get down. She looks at me while she's touching it with her paws, and her back legs are standing on her hind legs. She lowers herself down and then does one last, I'm going to touch it anyways. And I'm like, you are such a little brat. She knows what she's not supposed to do. Does she choose to do it anyways? Absolutely. Carcass. Sushi. Hey, Sushi. Put the paws down. She's like, well, I didn't touch that one. She was going for the one above it. She's so silly sometimes. Hey, little brat child. It's because she's hungry. She wants her breakfast, but I have her in the office with me, so she doesn't have food, which is, she's not going to starve. She has had access to food all night. Why? Brat child. I feel like cats are basically toddlers. Granted, I don't have kids, but they give me the same vibes as a toddler. Get your face out of the blinds. They definitely give me toddler vibes. So, yeah, chaos. Nothing satisfies them. The littlest little thing sets them off, and then they go into rigmarole. Hey, turd. Sushi. Put the paw down. All right. Well, I need to go free the cats from this room. I know this one's a little bit shorter than I normally go, but we've made good progress. We started kind of like right here, and we've gotten all of this done. It would have been more if I didn't have to stop like every 2 minutes and yell at this cat, but we're making progress on it, and it's coming along. It's really just the background right now, but you can see how pretty the background looks, even with it being all ABs. I do like the sparkle and shine of it. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this chaotic video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.